Hey everybody, this is Erica from In the Company of Cards. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. This is sort of like a proof of life video since I wasn't on during the weekend. I needed a break, and so I took a break. And this will be a quick video. I will come on later in the week. Um, from a secret location because, like I said, I need a break. So, and I will have a familiar guest on with me at one of those points. So, just hi, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. I encourage you to vote if you are in one of those states that is having elections. I thought about what questions to look at. So, somebody suggested that I look at um, the felon's threat to withhold funding from New York should Mamdani be elected. Let me just say, first off, as I have seen many times, Mamdani will be elected despite whatever shenanigans these election monitors think they can come up with. That's not going to work. Mamdani will be the next mayor of New York. And of course, the felon will try to withhold funds. I mean, as the night follows the day, as the day follows the night, we know how he rolls, right? And we know that what will happen is a judge will say, oh, you can't do that. And then, of course, he will appeal it, whatever. So there's no point in looking at that. Another thing that I'm not going to look at is Erica and JD. We all saw what we saw. I'm just saying. And so, I mean, who are you going to believe? What they tell you or your lying eyes? We all saw what we saw. We're all adults here. And so, what is there to say? I'm not trying to jump on that bandwagon. I notice a lot of people feeling the need to comment, a lot of people who do this work. We saw what we saw. It is what it is. And, let's keep it moving. Um, I think that the one issue I would like to look at before I um, retire to my secret location, from which I will video something for you later in the week, is I wanted to look at the felon's proclamation that he will fund SNAP halfway. Okay, pretty sure that's not what the judge said about that funding. I don't think the judge said you can fund it halfway. So, you know, he's going to do that. That's what he's going to do. He's only going to disperse half the money. And then, of course, that will be appealed as well. But meanwhile, people will what? Only be half as hungry as they normally would? Or you're going to feed half the number of people? Come on. I would like to know. We know what his plan's going to be. But how will that go? And I'm going to use mice because mice is about lack. And what I'm really interested in is how will this lack affect him? Obviously, not in terms of his feelings or anything, but how will it affect how people feel about him? His approval ratings are now, I think, at 36%. That's really low. That's really low. And then he has that Mar-a-Lago Gatsby party. Let me just remind him, and those of you who do not know the story, Gatsby did not meet a good end. He ended up dead from a shot in a swimming pool. So, I don't know that that was the best choice of themes, we'll just say, for the felon to have used. But so I want to know this partial funding, which will create continued lack for people. I'm going to use the mice. How will that affect him moving forward in terms of his public perception? Okay, so we're looking for the mice, and that will stand for the privation that people will and already are experiencing because of this guy's oh, cruelty and greed. Okay, yep. Okay, well, this was easy. Oops, hold on, dropped a card. This was easy. We have the heart, we have the crossroads, we have the mice, we have the felon, and we have the snake. So, for all of the people who love him, they will choose a different path, crossroads, choices. They will make a different choice because of the privations that they will face, because of this half step funding, um, and just because of, again, the cruelty of this administration. They will go a different way from him. He's the fourth card. And this will cause him problems because he is causing problems for them. Let's pull a couple of clarifiers on some of these cards and then just see what we get. Okay. So I pulled cards as you saw on three, the last three cards. This is the privation, meaning this is the lack that people will feel and are feeling. And then we have the scythe, the scales, and the mountain. So, because of how people are empirically experiencing him and his cruelty, like in their real lived lives, they will make the decision that what he's doing is not fair, is blocking what is just and fair, in fact, which would explain why they would move away from him. We have him, and the clarifiers are fish, letter, and ring. They will realize at long last that he is committed to money and making deals. That's it. Whatever brings him money, that's all he cares about. Again, this causes problems for him in terms of people's perception of him. Clarifiers are the child, the house, and the tower. So, what is the problem? In the eyes of the public, the White House and this administration, which is both of these two cards, are diminished, are diminished. So he can talk a good game about I am your retribution, but where is the evidence of that in people's real lived contexts? I mean, okay, he's attacking brown and black people. That might be evidence of his retribution, right? But if people can't feed their families, uh, mm, I think, there's that Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And if you're not fed and housed and clothed, everything else becomes secondary, including, I would argue, your hatred of people who look different than you, to the point where you might say, if you're a Trumper, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And who seems to be my enemy? Well, whoever it is that's preventing me from feeding my family. Who else is against that? Oh, black and brown people. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I have said many, many times, and I'm going to say it again. You're going to be very surprised when the Bastille and Versailles get stormed. and you're there on the front lines storming, who's on the right and who's on the left of you. It may be people that you would never have given the time of day, nor would they have given you the time of day, but there is a common foe which is keeping people from health care, from food, from fair housing, from jobs which have been lost. And who is that common enemy? So I think he thinks he'll be able to get away with this half stepping, that people will kind of like him because he's giving them half their SNAP benefits. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. So again, the bad news is that things get worse. The good news is the worse things get, the more people wake up to what's going on. And the more people wake up, the closer we get to building something different, because what is old will be dismantled and what is new will be raised up. Somebody asked me to look at the Venezuela thing. Well, I'm going to just say this, the Venezuela thing, as well as the Congo thing, right? He wants to, now we're supposed to get involved with fighting in the Congo because Christians are being killed. As it turns out, Christians are being killed at no greater a rate in the Congo than anybody else, right? Venezuela, it's supposed to be over drugs, but meanwhile, fentanyl, which was what he's so concerned about, comes to us through China. Are we going to attack China too? And I'm pretty sure we're not. So a lot of what he's doing is just smoke and mirrors, bread and circuses, and this time we don't even get the bread, right? Because of these benefits being cut off. I guess I just want to look at this. We have these elections coming up, which is great. Tomorrow, I think the tide will definitely change, and that the White House will get a message, uh, and that other people will get a message too, right? People who've been afraid to come out from the shadows and come out against this administration may see the handwriting on the wall and may decide to come out against them. Um, But hold on, because senior moment, so I lost my train of thought. Um, I mentioned the elections. Hmm. Oh, the shutdown. Uh, I don't think it will go too much longer, but I'm curious as to who will blink. Now, we all know that our preference here, of course, would be for the Republicans to blink. Historically speaking, however, the Democrats have blinked. They blinked the last time. But Schumer got a lot of heat for that. And I think that they are seeing that because they haven't blinked to date, despite the administration's efforts and the Republicans' efforts, people are not blaming the Democrats for this. People seem to be ascribing blame where it belongs, which is with the felon and his fellows. So I just want to know who's going to blink first. So I think I'll pull three cards for the Democrats and then three cards for the Republicans and see what we get. Okay. The shutdown will not go too much longer, but I'm not going to give a date certain as to when. The question is, who will blink first, the Democrats or the Republicans? Okay. So for the Democrats, we have the Garden, the Bear, and Crossroads. Interesting cards. So this is the people, the Garden. This is Democrats realizing that actually they have the upper hand. Why do they have the upper hand? Because generally the party in power is the one responsible for whether the government is functioning. And they're in charge of all three branches, dare I say. So, so that gives, ironically, the Democrats the upper hand, um, and also the ability to choose their path. It looks much more difficult for the Republicans. We have the scythe, we have the mountain, and we have the birds. These are really ugly cards for them. Uh, they risk being splintered as they are, the Republicans, they're already splintered and blocked, and blocked by whom? Well, their constituents. I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me anything. Where's the money? That's all the constituents want. Where's the money? So this is really, these are difficult cards for them. And to me, this feels like the angry mob coming at them. Remember what their condition is. Their condition is that they want the Democrats to sign on to the CR, the continuing resolution, which would fund the government. Oh, and by the way, coincidentally, throw millions and millions of people off their health care and raise the premiums for everyone. Everyone. Storm clouds are gathering, as are people who are saying, wait a minute, this is a Republican thing. And I mean, I just feel that the crowds are starting to assemble at Versailles. I think that the Democrats, who have their own issues, we all understand that you know, I can be as critical of the Democrats as I can be of the Republicans. But I do think that they have the upper hand here, that they will be able to write their own ticket. And their ticket is, we're not signing on to anything, until you stop the shutdown, Republicans, and that we look again at this healthcare situation because we are not going to choose between healthcare and food. They're both rights that people should have. But again, in this capitalist society, do we all agree on that? I don't know that we all agree on that. That people have a right to food, that people have a right to healthcare without being bankrupted. I'm not sure we all agree on that. So I think that it will be the Republicans who blink. That is also my hope. I love it when my hope and what my cards say coalesce. Again, I could be right, I could be wrong. I'm reading cards, but I think that the Republicans will be the ones who blink. Okay. Anyway, this was a short video, but I will be back, of course, this week. Um, I will tell you that Dr. Lena and I will be back together towards the end of this week. And so look for that. I won't put it up as a Sunday conversation. I'll put that up probably Friday. Um, and I will see you from my secret location once I have arrived there. So anyway, have a great Monday, and I will see you all really soon. Take care.